Mate, what is with all these NRL fantasy podcasts? They all sound the fucking same. Welcome to the echo chamber.
Hello and welcome to The Run Home with NRL Fantasy Echo Chamber. Bryce, we're finally out of those dreaded buys. Do you think it worked as a concept having 13 a week? I didn't really like it.
I think it was a terrible idea. It made the game way too easy. People should have been absolutely punished last week, and while some people were, that not enough people suffered, and you could scrape together a 13 pretty easy without much hassle. So yeah, I don't think the concept worked too well.
Yeah, it's a funny one too because it did the exact opposite to what I thought. I thought it would mean you could hold really quite easily a few of these big guns. And it didn't really work out that way because by holding them, I couldn't get one or two others that were firing. Jay-Z's flexibility that he was talking about early on during this period was really keen, helped him get some great players like Duncan and Donahue, and it left me stuck without Herbie until, well, I've got to debate whether to get him in this week, but I'm pretty sure I will be.
Yeah, I grabbed Herbie last week. He was my big buy last week. 81. Really happy with my decision to bring him in. I ended up getting 744 last week, which is a really good score for the round, ranked inside the top 5,000. I'm just sitting on 2K, and I think I've gapped you a little bit now, Scoop.
Yeah, we were sitting neck and neck for about 2 or 3 weeks there, but I did have a low one. I had Nawa instead of Herbie, and it was about that distance. 690 for me, slid back about 300 ranks. Overall, didn't go too bad. My loops went well, they saved me, but we'll see how it goes this week. Couple trades saved. I think I'll use most of them this week.
Yeah, so I had 11 coming into this round. I've just opened my team. I haven't looked at team lists at all, but I see a big red dot on somebody that I had the V on from yesterday, which is a little bit scary. I'm now going to have to try to figure out what to do if that is the actual news and Fail Hub just haven't fucked up.
Yeah, I'm probably doing a few this week. I was on 11 as well because they've updated now with the extra 8, and it's a race to 0 again to see who runs out first. I think, yeah, I think I'm going to really attack this hard and then sit, probably only making one or two others that I need to make along the way other than injury now. It's just that sort of a year. We've got big teams, we've got big value.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I've got Fichetti, I got Jolliffe, I got Latu Fainu. These are players that I don't want in my final 17, in my final 21. I have to figure out something to do with these players. I need trades to do that. If I make 3 or 4 this week, I'm left with 9, 8, 9 trades, which is way better than what some people are going to be. Like, I think we looked at Rast's team, who was sitting number 1 for most of the year, and he had no trades last week. He really suffered. He lost so many positions, but now he's got to use 4 trades, and he's only going to have 4 left, and he's still not going to probably have a full team.
Ouch,
So there's people in a lot worse off positions than what you and me are, and I think you're really going to see the people who held a couple of trades, they come into their own over the next couple of big buy periods.
Yeah, because there's still a couple of really important teams to have the buy. Like, I mean, we've got Rabbits round 26 for Aitken, Kolomatangi, potentially guys like Latrell. Cowboys round 27, along with the probable restings. They'll be pretty hard ones to do back to back.
Yeah, I expect Panthers to rest round 27. I can't see why they wouldn't. They normally do. Maybe the Storm as well, because they want fresh players coming into this really important series, right? The final series.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to catch the Raiders. I think the Raiders still got a bye to play. It is only 2 points, but Raiders still have a bye to play, and they've got a much easier run. So I don't think the Storm are going to be chasing that top spot as hard as what they probably would. But it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, they're level with the Dogs on points, but got a heaps better differential. I think
Yeah,
they'll probably push for that top two. They'll get it, and then
yeah,
they'll just sit.
yeah. Yeah, I think the Dogs are going to fade too. We'll probably talk about that when we get to the game. They literally robbed the Cowboys on the weekend. So they defended really well, but they were definitely not the better team in that game. They looked really rudderless, and it was interesting to see. So get in the team list, I think, because I'm itching to see what. I haven't looked at them yet, and I'm itching to fucking see some carnage. I heard it's spicy. Let's see how spicy it gets.
Right.
The Dolphins Cowboys game, mate. First up, Thursday half. Um, any big news in this game? Doesn't look like it's too hectic. Young rookie on the bench. Oh, sorry, starting for the Dolphins. You know anything about him?
Albert Tuaha, him.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he did last week for a few minutes. They've got they've got a lot of forward injuries at the moment, especially with
Yeah.
guys like Gilbert and Plath gone. I think it's just another case of him coming on for like 30, 40 minutes and doing that again. But one thing I did see that was relevant, Finafuyaki out, I think
Broken
4 to
thumb.
6 weeks. So
Yep.
Oren Keely and Lemuelu will be there for the foreseeable
Oh,
future.
big Lem. How much is he? Could he lose? Oh, he's 420. It's an awkward price, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought he dropped more than
Oh
that, but I
wait,
guess he hasn't.
is that the right Lem? Because I think there's two of them in the game, isn't there? No, that's the right one. His
Yeah,
break even's 52.
still not crash hot. Is Keely? What's Keely got up to? 340. Well, that's probably helpful for his chances of playing 80. Do you reckon Lem will go from bench to 80, or do you reckon Keely will take kind of the 80 role?
I think Lem will play the big minutes, and then Keely just keep doing what he's doing. To be honest,
Yeah,
um, yeah, especially because Josh Kerr's going to have to play a lot more minutes. Peter Holler's probably going to have to get some minutes. Ray Stone will get a lot of minutes. I think, yeah, Josh Kerr can play on the edge. Be interesting to see what they do with their rotation. Cowboys have to win this game now. Like this is must-win territory for us. Sitting 12th, we should have won last week. It would have helped us out a lot. We're now 5 points from the 8. We definitely need to win. So yeah, Dolphins probably not so much. Only 2 points out. Let's hopefully we can bamboozle them and get a
yeah, it'll
win
be
in the
an
old
interesting
Queensland
one.
derby.
Yeah, you've got Paulo on the wing instead of Rob Derby. Is
Yeah,
that
poor
right?
Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I think he just needs some more time to get bigger, bigger with his hands. He makes a lot of mistakes, and yeah, be interesting to see what happens.
Yep.
John Bateman again out. It's just rough. We can't
Yeah.
keep Bateman in the team, and Ruben played well on the edge, but I still think he needs to be in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Who's missing from the middle of the Cowboys at the moment?
McLean's missing.
Yep.
Lolo's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Griffin Neem. Oh no, Griffin
Ah,
Neem's there.
that's the
Hess.
one.
Neem's
Oh no,
there.
he is
Neem's
there.
starting.
He's there. Yeah.
He's starting. But Hess is there. Who McIntyre's missing as well.
Yeah.
He's basically been a stalwart in that middle pack, but
Yeah. But the big one is just those couple of middles plus Bateman, and I guess they're just shoving him in the Bateman role.
yeah, they're sticking. He played well in Origin on the edge. Who knows? This might be where he lives now. Be interesting to see how good Ruben Cotter ends up as
Well, he
an edge.
started as a hooker, and then he's a lock, and then he's a second row. It's a bit of a usually it's sort of a bit opposite to that. Usually, it goes second row. Anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I'm. Is there any more word on Cliff Dog? Because
Yeah,
heard you back in
he's got calf injury. And it's week to week.
week to week,
So
right?
he could be back next week.
Yeah. And I'll see how it goes because the win rates and especially Scott Drinkwater's scoring fantasy wise is much, much nicer with Clifford controlling it.
If we had a fullback at the club right now, I don't think this is how we'd be running out.
Hmm.
So if we had a fullback, I'm pretty sure that Drinkwater would be playing 6 this week. Yes, I think that's what needs to happen. But we just need to get Tom Chester back into the club, get him healthy, and then I think that's actually how we're going to go forward. Chester at fullback with Drinkwater and Dearden.
Yep.
All right. Next game on the Friday night, Sharks Roosters. Any big changes in this one? Sharks have named an unchanged starting side. I'm sure our boy Rudley is going to love to hear that sentence because that's what he's been asking for all year, right? He just wants the same 17 run out.
He wants
Put a
consistency from the boys.
He does. He does want consistency. I'm pretty sure that's what he says every week is that he just wants consistency. He loves seeing Talakai in the centers.
And it finally
really
paid
good for
off. All that waiting, that finally paid off with a good win. See,
Yeah,
patience.
yeah. They beat the Dolphins by 12, mate, at home. It was good. I don't think there's anyone really fantasy relevant in the Sharks team.
No, it was interesting to see the Hines actually take over a bit more. But was that just a week by week decision, or is that him going, right, I can't stand this anymore. I'm going to actually do stuff and run. I'll be interested to see how it goes this week.
So the interesting thing for me is when Hine gets his bigger scores, he's making 30 tackles. So all year when he's got a 60 or a 70, apart from once I think, he's had 30 odd tackles, 26 tackles. So when he's like involved in the tackles and in the game, he seems to get a better base. Because his attacking stats have pretty much been there all year. It's just his base has let him down. The run meters have let him down. So I don't think he's a buy.
The only one who's even close to a buy is kind of Blake Brayley with how insane he's going. But I mean, he's so expensive now.
I remember round 12 or round 10 or 11 on the podcast saying Blake was the guy to grab over Origin and just figure out the round 18 buy or whatever it's round 19 buy, the major one. And he's done really well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's done really well.
Last month of 76, 44, 68, 89 is very nice and has pushed him up 100K.
Only one try.
Yeah. He's run a lot in a couple of those games too, because before that he'd had so many games like 20, 30 run meters and just passed and passed. He's got 2 games over 100 in there, run meters. Yep. It's been involved.
I think that's the first time in his career he's done that. Yeah. Roosters side. There's some pretty decent options in this team, I think, to buy. Angus Crichton, for one, around that 620k mark. I think you've got to be looking at Critter. The big cat dog himself, Angus. What's he, 6'10"? Okay. He's even cheaper than I thought. I think you've got to look at him. He got a 53 last week. His break-even's under control. If you need an edge this week, Angus is my sell.
He's a very, very good option. And now that the days of 2 edges are over because there's no more minor buys where we play 13, it's a lot more viable too. I won't say stuck with KPP and Katoa because they both scored really well last week, but I was looking at Angus for the last couple because Walker back changes the shape of the team, and he scored 1 try all year and 1 try assist. If the Roosters' attack is getting better and firing, he will do a lot better. 2024, he had like a run where he scored about 8 in 6 weeks or something because he is that guy. He is one of the best scoring fantasy edges in the comp when he's getting enough ball.
Yep. He's an absolute fantasy gun, and he's a gun in real life. If you need an edge, that's who you're buying this week. I think he's definitely the best edge buy. Or even if you need someone in your bench 17, some cover. If you do have, say, you've got Preston and Katoa, you've got Kolomatangi. I still think you could bring him in into that fold and play him on your bench. No more buys. Relatively difficult run home. Sharks, they play Melbourne twice. Dolphins, Bulldogs. But I don't think that affects Angus too much. He's going to get you 35 to 40 tackles, 100, 150 meters. Basically just going to be a base 50 guy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And if he's been averaging 50 with nothing doing really, if he adds anything on top of that, he's good. He's priced at
45.
45 after he had those couple of low games just before Origin. So he's right for the picking.
Yeah, he was 700k coming into Origin, 730k coming into Origin. So, yeah, definitely a dude. I am keeping an eye out if I need somebody and I don't really know who to go. Anybody else in this team? Ficketti's killing it. Just keep him while he's got that spot. I think Wong is still at least 2 weeks away. So while Wong's not in the team, I'm definitely keeping Ficketti.
Yep. Return of the Chad, even if it's just for 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah. Big Chad. Scary that he's in the team. Sandon Smith would be fucking spewing, mate.
Yeah, that's
Losing it.
Yeah.
Seeing Chad Townsend get a 6 in front of you, but what the fuck is going on? Nawa, definitely a hold. He didn't, almost pulled off a fucking miracle, but I think you just got to hold Marky Mark. He's going to do good for the rest of the year. Teddy's a buy if you don't have him. I think that's about it, mate.
Yep.
We'll move on to the Panthers Rabbits game, and it's not a lie. No Yeo, no Cleary. What the fuck is going on?
I would love to know because it's sort of certain teams do interesting injury evaluations. It's like, are they resting? Are they injured? And we just don't know. I remember the Latrell saga the other year where it was like, oh, he's sort of close. It was like about 3 months. And Isaac Tungo as well. Just considering how he's looked the past 6 or so weeks, I know they're resting him at least to try and get that better. But how long will that get better be?
How long can they afford to not have Cleary in this team?
Well, they're playing Rabbits with some outs. Who do they play after that is the question. Oh, no, they've got this stupidly easy run. Yeah, so they might actually have a game or two where they do keep him out. I was looking at it last week. Their run including last week, is the bottom 5 teams in the comp on the ladder, the actual bottom 5, and then the actual top 3. So it's a very lopsided roller coaster. But yeah, they've got some very nice opponents over the next few weeks. Rabbitohs into Tigers, into Gold Coast, into Newcastle. So I guess we'll see how that goes. If you do have the absence of Cleary for a while, Dylan Edwards might be all right. But I mean, does Alamotti keep goals? I don't know.
I don't see anybody else that would kick for him. It's got to be.
Yeah,
It's got to be Alamotti.
It'd be Alamotti or Edwards, but I think Alamotti might actually be ahead now.
He's not a bad striker of the ball. We seen him last week. So who are your halves?
Mine are Cleary, Fogarty, and Latu Fainu because I'm selling Savala. I've also got Campbell, so I can just shove Campbell there if I want. So I might do some interesting positional looping.
JC, put him up the top. I don't have him. I've got Cleary, Katoa, Sav, and Fainu. So losing 2 of my halves that I would potentially start is pretty rough. I am going to have to buy someone, I think. I don't think I can just not replace Savala in the halves. My original plan was to go Savala and Lucas to Yeo and Bo Fermor. We'll talk about Bo when we get to the game. But now I'm going to rethink that. I may have to look at Fogarty or someone like that just to get me through the year. Someone I can just put on the bench and be back up.
And Hughes is now more expensive than all these guys too because he's had this good run.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you
I'm not
think
looking at
he?
Hughes.
Yeah, I guess the holders will be pretty happy. Oh, well, not holders, just people who bought him.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll do more with Pappenhausen out? Will they do like less chefs equals more dominant role?
Pappenhausen's also really frustrating me. He's been named twice, pulled out, and then obviously not even named this week. We can actually check this, right? Filter teammate. We'll actually just have a quick live look and see what he does without Pap. Pappenhausen without. So the last 2 games is really the only thing we've got without Pappenhausen, or what? Oh no, 50-70 averages without Pappenhausen. There's a lot of games there.
Yeah, well, a lot of that was 2024 too, where Pappenhausen was missing for. Oh, no, it wasn't actually that many.
20, yeah,
Last year,
2023. 2023 was the big year without Pappenhausen.
yeah. 2024 though, with Pappenhausen 57, without Pappenhausen 5 games 70. But there
Yeah.
was a lot of tries in there, so who knows?
Last 2 weeks, though, no Pap. He's done all right, 56, 66. You're not going to be sad about it.
Yep. Owners will be pretty pleased.
I don't think he's a buy now at 700k.
No, he's the window's sort of closed,
I
and you're
mean,
looking at the other options now.
Fogarty is only 30 grand cheaper, but coming back up after being 750, 740 and dropping a little bit with them 240 games he had. So Fogarty's probably got some money to make, whereas, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Anybody? Wow, dude, we were talking about Roosters and we ended up Panthers and we ended up talking about Storm. Anybody else in the Panthers you're looking at, mate?
I there's gonna be somebody in that back line who does ridiculous things in the next month because of that crazy draw, but you just can't really buy any of them as a fantasy option. Even if it's
I
somebody like Brian Totter, who we know, the only one to be Dylan Edwards if Cleary's out for ages. But yeah,
I would have said Isaac Tungo, but he's suspended.
yeah,
Right? He's absolutely killed it the last 2 weeks. He's done what we expected him to do from the start of the year. Rabbitohs, Latrell. You super keen?
I'm pretty keen. If you take his early games, they really dragged down his average, his centre game and his 5/8 games and all that. He still didn't do terrible, but he just does better at fullback. Like
60.
since that first game back in fullback where he got binned, if you don't include that, he's got a 46 and a 48 there, 65, 63, 75, and an 87. So like this is the time of year where Latrell usually goes superhuman. He always revs up at the back end of the year for some reason. And I just think it's a good time to own. Yeah, he's got to buy around 26, but I kind of need somebody. I'm probably going to move JC up to my halves or bench as a half full time now and just buy Latrell. I think I really like the idea of Latrell doing everything in that team because the run where he got 1 billion points last year was when he was kicking everything. And that's what he's doing again this year. He's
Yep.
kicking way more than Humphreys and still doing Latrell things.
Yeah, 600, 600, 600, 400, plus goals, plus run meters, try assists, line break assists. You can't really look past Latrell as a fantasy gun. And if you need a wing fullback, probably your target this week. And even if you've got a Drinkwater, you've got a Pappenhausen, you've got one of them not really fringe keepers, you could probably look to upgrade. So that's what I'm sort of doing, is toying with the idea of actually getting off Pappenhausen and going to Latrell.
Well, I think I'd agree with that. I'm going Hopewade to Latrell, and I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, Hapawadi was just a bust for you, man. That was just
Uh,
sad. It just didn't work.
Turbo stole everything, and he's a definite sell.
Yeah, just sad. Anybody else in this Rabbitohs team you want to talk about? You and Aiken back on the edge. Tell us Duncan at 4. Is he now a sell?
I think he's a good sell. Like Jay-Z weaved his magic to get him 2 tries the other day, the other round when he was on 10 in about 50 minutes. But
Yeah,
at center, I think you just move on now. You've made a ridiculous amount of money, scored a large amount of points, and you can basically get anybody for him now.
yeah. Move on, Tallis. Good to see you and Aiken back on the edge. Let's hope he starts and plays good minutes there. He always does a good score. So glad I held him. I know some people did move him on. But he should also get DPP come round 21 as well.
He needs to start next year with DPP. It will be such a rort if he doesn't.
Yeah. Bit of news out of the Rabbitohs though, which is just terrible. Campbell Graham gone for the back out again injury. Don't actually know what it is. I think it's a back injury potentially, but that guy has just had a devastating run of injuries the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, he missed the
Also,
whole of 24.
yeah.
Yeah, just all the best for him.
Cody Walker gone for the year, from what I understand. Seen some stats where he's actually been really consistent playing games. But yeah, he's going to miss most of this year. See if he actually comes back. Anybody else you can talk about?
Um,
Well, Kylo's prop, hold, stick, stay, keep him playing.
yeah, he's good. He'll be right. I do want to make a comment though on middles in general. As the back end of the year comes, we usually see the outside backs dominate a little bit, but I think we're starting to see with Trell Mit, Payne Haas, and even Colo a little bit, just the effects of what playing huge minutes does to your body. Eventually, you get beaten up and bruised. Your PPM starts to drop, and tries start to happen. So you're standing behind the posts anyway. Like Trell Mit was basically guaranteed score 5 more points than he played minutes, and similar with Payne Haas. Kolomatangi has also fallen victim to that in his last couple of games, and I do wonder what the top averaging guys will be putting out in the forwards for the back end of the year. But Kolomatangi after this rest should hopefully be a little bit better for the break.
Yeah, I hope he comes back nice and strong and dominates the middle like we watched him do the last couple of weeks. Yeah, especially a bit of a weaker Panther side without Yo. This this would be a game set up for the Rabbitohs to actually do like a surprise coming out of this with all the injuries they got. Bit of a weaker Panthers team. They don't have their 2 best players in the team, so it's
Drill
hopefully it's
for
a
a
good watch.
century.
Yeah, I'm really considering buying him, mate. It's just whether I can squeeze and massage the finances enough. Now that I'm not getting Yo, I've got money, but we'll see what happens. I still need to get Yo. That's the issue, right?
I'm getting Tino personally because I can't stretch the funds quite enough. And that lets me get guys like Latrell pretty well without compromising too much.
We'll talk about Tino when we get to him. He's a bit further down. We'll get onto the Raiders and Eels game. Somebody I have seen people selling, and I think is a travesty, is Tarpane. Now, I think he's going to go completely bonkers towards the end of the year. What's your take on that, mate?
It's sort of mixed because I'm not a Tarpanay owner in fantasy or Supercoach. The Supercoaches hate him and want to sell him, but in fantasy, I've barely seen it at all. I do think I think as Jay-Z saying in the chat, okay, but I might be wrong on that. Basically, Hudson Young being out and Nicholson being out has changed the forward rotation in the bench. And now that you've got 2 big minute edges, I think it does help out Tarpanay quite a lot because now I'm not expecting Hosking to play 80 from now on because they just haven't
Yep.
been doing that to him all year unless these guys have been out. And I think that's going to help Tarpanay.
I think Tarpane's in to go back to his 60-minute role. And Tarpane with 60 minutes is it's a dream to own. So between that 55 and 60 minutes is what I expect from Tarpane. His run, his greatest run home, I think has got to be the softest, right?
I think it's like second. Sharks is insane, but I think Raiders is like very, very
They have
close.
a they have a bye and they play Panthers. The rest they should win easily.
Yep.
So, like, the Panthers game is going to be a litmus test for them coming into the finals, where they're at. And I expect Joseph to be hopefully his finger's now healed, week off, plays 60 minutes, and we're all happy. Now, I seen a message from you in the Discord, and it did pique my interest. Jermaine Hopgood.
Jermaine Propgood, he finally actually moved to the 8. Dylan Walker lock also. I do wonder what that's going to be and how long. Jack Williams at edge, is that a proper edge or not? But we
He's
just need
played
to
there
see
before.
minutes. Yeah, we just need to see minutes from Hopgood, hey?
Yeah, you just need to see him play big minutes in this really important role. Eels need to come up with a formula towards the back end of the year where they can be competitive. Like, you just need to find something over the next 5 or 6 weeks that can come out, be competitive. You were right in the game on the weekend.
And then we bombed a couple and then we just gave up. We just actually gave up. Like that Lomax, I was so excited for that Lomax trying to just butterfingers it.
I think the play was the Josh Adokar drop board, like the ball that was meant to go to Josh, and then he turned around, and then there was just no pace from Adokar. Like the center or something from the other side of the field had to come across and make the tackle. It was just insane. Like, yeah.
It was a little bit further than I thought it would be because the Eels usually manage to keep it close no matter where they are on the ladder, and they did minutes wise, but just not score wise in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it was disappointing. I thought you were right on the chance, really competing with the Panthers, but yeah, it is what it is. Ended up losing by 22 points. That was not a 22-point loss.
No.
That's devastating, man.
Yeah.
Taylor De Silva, did he start last week? I think he did, didn't he?
No, Dylan Brown moved to 9, which is the weirdest thing. And then he came off and barely played. So I think they're basically preparing for Josh Papali'i to be the 6.
Well, Dylan Brown's not even named in the 17, mate.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that's $1 million man that's not even fucking playing the game this week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, man. Surely you could put him in the centers. Surely Dylan Brown in the centers is better than Sean Russell.
He's really good defense. But yeah, I understand he isn't playing the hottest and he's on the outer, but he's good enough to be in there for sure. They need to
This is a really weird decision. Yeah, this is a really weird decision for me. I'd be having Dylan Brown playing in this center at least. If Joash is your future 6 and that's what you want to do, okay, cool. Like, I've seen the Cowboys do something similar. But you still need to respect Dylan Brown as a player. Like, the guy's won the Eels so many games off his own back. He's not a bad player. You need to have him in your 17.
Yeah, I do. Have you kept up with the Knights news much? Because with the AOB,
I was reading it.
Yeah, AOB potentially gone, Ponga potentially looking at rugby. This is sort of what I was thinking might happen because it did not make sense to me to have Ponga, Sharp, and Dylan Brown on $1,000 gajillion in the same team. And now we might get Sharp fullback, Dylan Brown 6.
Yeah, I don't know what to go with with Ponga. I think he should go. If he, yeah, my thing is I think Ponga should probably go to rugby union. He's just not worth the effort at Newcastle, I don't think.
He's looked uninterested for a lot of this year.
Yeah, he's an amazing talent, an amazing player, but you've got Sharp. If you didn't have someone that was just as good, because Sharp's arguably better at fullback because he's fit. He's not going to just like fade away like paper mache like what Ponga can. And I'm still a little bit biased because I'm still really pissed that he left the Cowboys. So there is a bit of that in it.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic player, but he just is not doing what his potential is at all this year.
Mm,
And with the guys that they have available, I would not be too surprised if he did move.
yeah. So anyway, the TLDR of this is Dylan Brown should be playing in the 17 somewhere. It's just
Yeah.
we seen this with Matto though as well, right? Madison just got sent to the show. We haven't even heard from Madison in fucking how many weeks now? It does not compute in my brain. Anything else you want to talk about from this game? I think I'm sorry, mate, but I think the Raiders absolutely batter you on this
Yeah,
early Saturday game.
Weeks could get another 90.
Yep. Jed, if anyone held Jed Stewart, he's probably on for a hat trick this week and he'll score 30.
Yeah, just like
Um,
your Scotty Boland.
Yeah. Oh, how good was that cricket, mate? Second
Yeah.
lowest score in Test history. We'll
I
probably
was,
talk
I
about
was
that towards
worried.
the
I
end.
was worried that we wouldn't have enough after they had us down, but I wake up this morning, I'm like, 27. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Freaking yeah, it was just insane that innings. I watched every ball because there's only about 40 of them. We'll get on to the next game. We'll talk about rugby league because otherwise we'll get in trouble. Bulldogs Dragons, 5 p.m. game Saturday afternoon for me up here in the Northern Territory. I know it's 5:30 East Coast, but I don't give a fuck. Just running through this team real quick. Fucking Galvin at 7. They just don't know what they want to do.
I don't like it. Look, it's probably they were always going to have to do this if they brought Galvin early. They just did it the absolute worst possible way they could have, and they've lost. How many have they lost since they brought him over or were thinking of? It's been about like 50% win rate instead of like one loss and 10 wins.
Yeah, I don't think that's all down to Lockie coming to the team. Like, it's definitely a part of it, but I also think they're coming back to the pack as well. Like, they were just on such amazing form, and every player was playing beyond their level. And they've had a few injuries now. They had Max King go away for Origin. They lost a little bit of their. Kurt Mann went away as well. So they lost to Carras. They lost Stephen Crichton. Do you want to see? So they lost these players over Origin. They almost, for the first time in a long time, the Bulldogs suffered from the Broncos syndrome.
Yeah, it's not super common that they lose so many, but they did have quite a number out. So that is a big factor as well. But they
Yes.
need to
I
get
thought,
they need to get the noise out of their heads and refocus, because otherwise they will be on the bottom half of the bottom four and looking at the Broncos and the Panthers charging.
yeah, they need to make sure that they keep these wins coming. They got lucky on the weekend against the Cowboys. I'm going to keep saying that because that's what fucking happened. And this week it's going to be a tough game against the Dragons. I don't think it's just they're just going to walk in and win this game. If they don't show up and really compete, like the Dragons took the Roosters really deep in their game. Bulldogs need to show up for this.
This is the sort of matchup that, like, it doesn't, on paper, doesn't scream much, but the Bulldogs Dragons matches are usually pretty good from memory, and I do think it suits them. So
I don't.
we'll see how
Yeah,
cooking everybody goes.
I don't see this being a huge scoring game. Right, this is probably like last week, low scoring but really entertaining. It's going to be a few mistakes because the Dragons don't mind a mistake. They got fucking Tyrrell Sloan on the wing, who's mistake magnet. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. As far as fantasy bias, what are you looking at in this team? Preston's getting cheaper. You're probably going to have to wait a couple of weeks now for his score to even out. Kiraz for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Carraz is pretty good. It depends how many centers you have, though. With Lucas going down, if you don't have him, he's probably not a bad pickup. But it just depends how many you have. I do think we've got guys like Bo Fermor, who we will get to as well, that are also equally good options. And at the moment, with the half switcheroos that's going up, with Govern coming in, I don't quite know how it's going to impact
Yeah,
things. So I'm happy enough to buy Carraz, but it's no means a slam dunk.
yeah, yeah. I just think Latrell's and I know you're talking about the center role is the more appealing for Carraz, but even if you're looking at him for the wing fullback role, you're getting Latrell Mitchell for 50 grand.
Yeah.
So you're probably trying to squeeze that money out of him. Bo Fermor, how much is Bo? Yes, we keep talking about him.
He is
He's
703,
700.
so he splits them.
So yeah, so he's in the middle. If you need the center, then you pay up potentially over Kiraz, 30 grand. I don't know. I just like the duel of Kiraz, and we know he's a known quantity of what he's going to give us towards the end of the year. So, Preston wants, as I said, you probably want to wait a couple of weeks now. And if you're looking for an edge, it's not Preston you buy this week, it's Angus Crichton.
Yes, he's 80k cheaper.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And they're probably going to end up very similar scores throughout the year. Anybody on the Dragons team?
I think Holmes is doing well, but I don't think well enough to warrant buying. He's averaging 50, but I mean, do you really want to go Holmes with a bit of a tough run home? I don't think so.
Doesn't miss a game, and he's going to be integral to their team. Goal
Hmm,
kicking, his run meters have been insane. His tries have been a bit down this year, but he's not exactly a try scoring beast.
no, he's good. I just don't know if you need to go super
No,
pod when there's these other options out there.
yeah, no, I agree completely.
Look, though, do you think
Yeah,
that he's he's dependent on your team whether he's a sell or not?
yes, definitely. He still got 64 minutes last week. Like, it's not like if you look at the last sort of 5 games, he played a 56-minute game and a 50-minute game, and both of them were over 50.
And then the high ones have been the low ones.
That's right. So like he's a bit like Reed Marnie in that sense. Like he's got to give you points even in a 60-minute game because he's just so much effort. Unless you're over 10 trades, I'll say you probably want to hold him because he's
Yeah.
not going to miss a game between now and the end of the year. He gives you cover, and he is normally going to get you a 45 to a 50.
Yeah,
He's only 600k. He's only priced at 45.
yeah. It's sort of a guy that will be your 17th man most weeks, or you're looping in, but
You'll be
he's good
looping
enough
him.
to sit around.
Yeah, he's a looping guy. Someone you want to sort of throw out. Yeah, he's. I've got Reed Marnie, and I look at Damien Cook and Reed Marnie at pretty much the same. They're
Yeah,
just
Marnie
guys
turned
I'm
out
gonna.
pretty well after that
He
shocking
did, man.
start.
Yeah, I apologise to him. I sent him a tweet. I was like, mate, sorry, I doubted you. He knew exactly who I was in the podcast, everything, man. He listens every week. So, um, I don't think there's anything. Jack DeBellin confirmed for the Eels, mate. Grats on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him as a bloke, but he's been playing good footy. So I don't know what that means for Hopgood. Does that mean they're going to put Hopgood prop, or does that mean DeBellin's going to play prop? I don't know,
I,
but who knows?
I I don't think they just both play middle for you. Prop, lock, who cares?
Mm.
They're gonna play middle. Yeah, I think he could do way worse, man. I know he's getting a bit old, but he is 100% effort, that bloke, and he's definitely had a chip on his shoulder since he came back into the game. So,
Yeah,
um,
he's been pretty good for the Dragons.
yeah, that is about it for that game. Storm and Manly. This is going to be an interesting game. I think Munster's back. He showed us on Wednesday night up the Maroons how good he is as a player. Um, pretty much a full strength Storm team apart from Pappenhausen. What do you think is going to happen?
I think this will go like the Eels Panthers match. I think it's going to be the Seagulls will keep it close until a breaking point, and then they'll just fall over, and the Storm will run in like 3 late tries or something.
Yeah, I think they're going to just blow them out of the water, to be honest. This is going to be a Nick Meaney 80.
Yeah. I tell you, if you had a magic looking glass that looked into the future, he would have been the craziest buy. 3 weeks at fullback. He's
Yeah.
done very well.
Very sad because I picked the wrong fullback, didn't I? Anyway, anybody else you're looking at Katoa? Still a
Yeah.
buy? Yes.
How much is he now?
724. So
Yeah, if you need an edge, he's very good. Angus is 100K cheaper, but I
I
think
will.
we're seeing Katoa do what we always thought he would do when he went to the Storm. It's this bloke in an attacking team that is an elite footballer that is just going to do damage, and he has been fantastic the last month or so.
5 tries in his last 5 games.
Wow.
So that is my caveat with Katoa, is that don't expect 60s every game because he's been scoring tries. And I think Angus is a better buy. Even though Storm have got a relatively easy draw. Actually, they don't. Fuck. Roosters, Broncos twice, Panthers, Bulldogs, Roosters again.
Yeah.
That's actually a rough run home.
Yeah. If anybody else other than the Storm would be looking at that and scratching your head, wondering how you plan for that. But yeah, Katoa will still do well. But yeah, he might even do better than Angus, but I don't think he'll quite do 100K better. If you are planning on getting both, or you have Angus for some reason last week, I mean, Katoa's not a bad buy, but he is a lot of money.
Yeah, I'd probably say wait and see what happens with Preston, see what happens there. Because Preston might end up being a better buy than Katoa next week. If you don't need Katoa this week, if you're just getting him as a luxury buy.
Yeah, if you're getting him as a luxury buy, it is the week because, well, he's not going to be any cheaper than this for a little while, and there are a lot cheaper options that I think it can go for. Angus being the number one.
Yeah.
If I had room for him and I didn't already have Katoa and KPP, I probably would be buying Angus this week.
Yeah, I've got Preston, Colo, Aiken, Fichetti. Like, I'm stacked on the edge. I don't know. It's interesting for me. I do really want to bring Angus in, but how do I balance my team with that? It's going to be. I sort of need to wait a week and see what happens. I know everyone thinks that Aiken's going to get DPP, but wait for Aiken to get DPP and then just consider him a center, and then that frees up an edge spot for me to use. What else we got? What do we got on the Manly side? Anything crazy happen? Nope. Turbo still center. Still killing it at center, by the way.
Yeah, if it wasn't, I think their run home is the worst in the comp, but he will still do all right at centre. I don't think he's a buy now, but I think he's actually. How much has he gone up? About 50K.
He has
Terrible.
no. He's gone up 20 grand, bro. That's it. He's gone up 20
Uh,
grand from when he is. If you're gonna buy, his break even is 4. If you are buying Tom Trbojevic, it is this week.
yeah, I
If he
think
is, and
if
if he is
you,
named center next week, does he get DPP?
I really don't know because the plan from the Manly CEO was saying that Turbo is going to go back to fullback, but that also might just be club PR for Turbo, etc. Because it's been 3 weeks. If it's keeps happening in next week when they add them, well, it's a possibility.
Break even is 4. He's priced at 34. He's averaging. I mean, he got 2 tries. You can't really say he's only so small, but you'd expect a high 40s average from Turbo, wouldn't you? If he keeps fit.
I think you can probably get somewhere around there, and that's good for the price. Do you need him at this stage of the year? Maybe, especially if you've got a lower team value, you need to make a sacrifice somewhere. That might work out for you, but yeah, I just don't love the run home for them. That's pretty much the only thing I have against it. You've got Melbourne, Dogs, Roosters, Raiders, Tigers, Dolphins, Dragons, Warriors. So the next month's rough, and they finish with Warriors and also a Dolphins. So there's only really 2 easy games.
Without looking at the stat, what do you think his top 100 ownage percentage is?
Oh, I've got him open in front of me already. I'm
Oh,
surprised
you
it's that
cheated.
high.
31%, man.
I'm
That's
actually really
crazy.
surprised it's that high.
It's 31 of the top 100 own Turbo.
And pretty evenly spread across top 1,000, top
Yep.
5,000 too. About a third of people bought Turbo. So
He was just so. I guess he was so cheap at 400k.
Mhm.
His break even was low. I mean, I can see why people did it.
it's like that year that we thought Ponga was rubbish and garbage and head injury knock, but he just got so cheap we had to. And then, of course, he went on that ridiculous runs.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is this week. Like, you need to gamble that he's going to be named center again next week because I don't think you really want him as a wing fullback. You want him as a center cover. I don't think he's good enough to be wing fullback cover, not with the options that are out there.
Yeah. He's all right for cover, but you probably only want to play him once or twice.
Yeah, loop him if you can.
Yeah.
Anybody else on this team? Probably not. Good to see Tommy Talau back on the bench. Why is Tommy Talau on the bench? Holy shit!
He's done that once or twice in the last few weeks.
He's done that a few times. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. Maybe that's what it is. Tommy Talau is just there because they know Turbo is made of paper mache.
One of Turbo or Saab will get a hamstring injury.
All right, Tigers Titans. Early game Sunday. Let's go through the Tigers first. Just looking for any changes. Taylor May.
Yep.
Named 3.
He comes in, and guess where that pushes AD?
Lock. What the fuck?
That's watching
insane.
the game with a couple of mates, and we were all just thinking, hang on, what's Dewey doing over here? Is he playing lock? And I guess now it's official, so I reckon
he's going to score 1 million points.
He will do well. I think he will do very well.
What is Adam priced at?
4 something? 5 something?
No, 576. He's priced at 43.
High. Wow.
Yeah, so his last 4 weeks in a row has been above 50. 52, 58, 56, and then the 85 with the 2 tries.
Wow, that got me.
He has gone from 420 up to 570 in 4 weeks, mate.
I did not notice that at all.
Oh, I think he's gone though. I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's a week too late.
Although, if you need a half, need a half center cover. Hey, some of us need a half center cover.
Just add Adam Dewey to the list of guys who should get omnipositional status. Jack Bird, Adam Dewey's got half center and he's playing lock.
Let's just put it out there in the universe. Adam Dewey for the second time this season coming into my team.
Next year's center mid duel. How crazy would that be?
I feel it. I'm seriously looking at AD now that I know he's named at 13. He fixes a huge problem in my personal team because I lost a center and I lost a half. And he's someone that can cover if he keeps his 13 spot. So what has happened here for him to get 13? May's come in. 12's gone to prop.
Some of Fainu's out. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, but that's just going to put...
Yeah.
That's just going to put Seyfarth back to the bench when he comes back, right?
Yeah, that's the only real change. So I think it could be an option for them going forwards.
Because Suka's starting as well. It's like I know he's been starting recently, but it's only recent. Fuck.
Tigers casualty ward has it's just Dream Baller and Fainu.
All right. I think I've just talked myself into a crazy move. Titans. Oh mate, I was watching this game, the Titans game on the weekend against the Broncos, and I just kept telling everybody in the Discord, it's fine. Mr. Campbell will do something. He'll save his score. He'll do something amazing, and he just never did. Ended up with a 35. Break even's now 81.
He's lost a lot since he's come back, and I'm not dead sure exactly what it is. But on the weekend specifically, it was just demerits. He had 4 missed tackles and 3 errors. It was not helpful, and then no real attack.
Yeah. 1 line break assist. That was it. What do you want to do with him?
Oh, I'm holding. I'm not gonna.
Well, he's not a
sell,
sell.
but
If you brought him, you've got to hold him. But would you buy him?
I'd wait a week, to be honest. 81 break even.
I'm probably going to wait till after the Panthers game, personally.
Yeah, don't mind that. Tigers level out their breaking even a little bit. 2 more, well, potentially lower ones, and then rev up.
The other thing is, I expect him to be injured for the Sharks game. So, like, I'm hedging my bets this one.
Yeah. If this happens, or within a game of the Sharks game, it'll be the call of the year.
Biggest call of the century. Mate, I played Jermaine Jolliffe on the weekend just gone. The bloke comes out and gets me a 53. If I ever meet him, I'm gonna have to buy him a beer because when Haas went down, I'm like, that's it. That's my week done. I'm playing Jermaine Jolliffe off the bench. He's gonna come out and give me but he didn't. He got me a good score, and he done really well. But his job's done, and I'm gonna try and move him on as soon as I can.
Yeah, he is an ultra pod too, like less than 1% in the top 5,000.
Yeah, I mean Duncan was the better buy. I'm not going to say that it
Duncan
wasn't,
was
but
awesome. But I mean, he's made 100K, and apart from that 28, basically got 45 to 55 a week.
Each week, yeah. I played him most of the weeks as well. Like I did dodge the 28, but I played him the rest.
You're sweet then.
Yeah,
You got 50 average out of him.
Yeah, I got a nice average. He done really well for me. Break even's 39, but he's priced at 40. Now that Tino's back in, it did sort of go through my head whether I just go Joel to Tino this week for the run home. What do you reckon about that?
I really like Tino. As I said last week, I can't remember where I heard it from, but I think his sternum injury is a lot better. And we saw that in Origin, he's looked a little bit better. And, well, shockingly, he was back to a point a minute last week in the Broncos game. So if he's back to 60 plus 60-minute good Tino at that price, he is a steal.
Yeah, I think Tino showed us last week that he's good to go. But you can wait this week because his break even is 72. So I don't think he's going to get 72, and he's going to lose some money, and you may get him for 590. So if you are tight on money, that's because I know we said we got big rich squads, but 20 grand is 20 grand at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm personally bringing him in this week. I quite like him. I don't know if he'll score as well as like a Yeo, but I mean, Yeo's not playing this week.
Yeah, he's getting a 0 this week, mate. So he's going to definitely score as well as Yeo. Yeah. Anyone else in this one you want to talk about?
Well, we got to wait and see what the heck David Fafita's going to do for the rest of the year. Hey,
He played middle, mate. He played middle. He played prop in that game against.
Interesting.
And he got 11 and 25.
I really want to see what's going to happen. Is he going to stick around with Des gone? Is he just going to shoof off? Because it seems like he's done at the Titans, except for the fact that there may be no Des. So
yeah, Feeder's got the clause, from my understanding, in his contract that he can basically leave whenever he wants now. Right? If someone offers him a deal, he can go that he wants. So it's up to him whether he stays or goes. Because they had that stupid. Who was their previous fucking coach?
Holbrook.
So they had a clause in there that saying if Holbrook left, then they could leave whenever they want. There's about 3 players at the Titans that had that clause. So David's choosing to stay.
That's a positive, at least.
Yeah, and if they do bring in a new coach, who knows, man? Because this Titans team has got a very exciting roster, especially when Kaio's back.
Yeah,
Like,
it does surprise me sometimes that they are 17th. I mean,
yeah,
Titans are the Titans, and the Titans culture has the Titans culture, but there is this sort of Bulldogs rebuild vibes about them in the next year
yeah.
or two.
Like it wasn't that long ago. They were like a game away from being at the big show. It was what 2 years ago, and he just didn't pass the ball. So, look, I rag on the Titans all the time because it's fun, but Tino, they've got David Fafita, they got Jaden Campbell, who is so fucking exciting. You know, you've got Kai Kino, so exciting as a player. They just need to build around these guys and just bring some of these youngsters through. They're going to have a good team. So if I was David, I'd probably stay because he's getting paid $1 million a year, right?
Yep.
I'm not paying him $1 million a year to come to the Cowboys and sit on the bench. So,
No, not after what he's put out the last little while, but
yeah,
he's still a very good player, and he has potential to go back to being David Fafita that we know.
yeah, yeah. All
Kyle
right.
Pereira's going to score he's going to score 1 in 20 minutes this week on the bench.
He is anti. You reckon he actually starts? You reckon
I
they
do
bring him
find it
in?
weird. I do think that he's either going to drop out or go in. What did he do last week? Did they do the same thing?
I don't know, man. I was a little bit inebriated for that game.
No, he was interchange and played 0 minutes. So who knows? That might happen again.
0 minutes. So what? Des Hasler's just decided that he's going to carry an outside back on the bench just in case.
He heard you talking about Jaden Campbell.
He's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 8. Yeah, right. The group back to fullback, Brimson into the halves. I got this. Don't you worry. I know what's going on. Yeah, right. All right, final game of the round. We got Jay-Z's Knights up against the Wawas. Up the Waz. Any big news in this game? Gagai comes back at fullback. Wow. 39-year-old Dane Gagai at fullback. How do you reckon that goes, Scoop?
I think he sort of played there on the weekend as well, didn't he?
I didn't watch the game.
But I think Hastings took goals off him. So it's exciting as an NRL thing. I don't think it's so exciting as a fantasy thing because you'd need that bump in order to go for him. But
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't end up going. I mean, they still got beaten by the Storm by a decent chunk, but
Yep.
they didn't do as bad as I thought they might.
Hastings, Cogger. Good to see Jaden Brayley back in 9. 2 props on the team. All right, things are starting to look up for the old Knights, mate. I'll actually name 2 props.
Yeah, well, actually, let me just look at that again. Did they name Thomas Kant at edge, or didn't they?
No, they did not.
No, Brody Jones edge.
Brody Jones
Okay,
and KPP. Kant's not even in the team. He's 18.
yeah, there you go. There were a few people talking about Kant with Lucas being injured for, I think it's the year now. I think it's the same injury as Ponga and Liz Frank, but
Yeah.
not to be Brody Jones. I think Kant missed
Yeah.
too many tackles.
So interesting with Brady Jones is that he's 400k, and what is he like on the edge?
I think he
He's
had
pretty.
been an edge a while back before sort of going more to middle.
He's pretty decent, man. 43 average on the edge. So if he gets close to 70, 80 minutes, he's that typical 40 points and an 80-minute edge type of plotter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, shame it's the wrong time of year because a 40-pointer doesn't really fit in your team
No.
anywhere. But
Unless you're struggling. Like, you could do worse. I think he's going to make money. As long as he stays there, though. Who knows if that's his position? He's played prop, he's played interchange, he's played lock, he's played everywhere that week. This year, that bloke.
yeah. Brazil might even spend a couple minutes at edge. They might do
Yeah.
some rotating.
Yeah, so big Fizz is on the bench. Warrior side. Tanner Boyd. Interested now that
He didn't
Come
look
on.
bad, and I think given the fact that the Warriors are a lot better team than the 2020 sort of 2023-24 Titans, I think he'll score better there as well. So he did have 2 turnover tackles in that 56, but he did have an assist and 5 goals. And I mean that might not be out of the question for a few of these games in the run home because they have Newcastle, Gold Coast, Dolphins, Bulldogs, so a couple hard ones, but then they finish off with St. George, Titans again, Para, Seagulls. So there could be some joy for the Warriors in the run home. It's quite a good run, actually. I think
4 games at home.
it's the third best after the Sharks and the Raiders. And well, he steered pretty well. I
Yeah.
don't mind it.
So we got 33 odd points in base. He's priced at 38. So he does need a little bit of
Yeah.
love. But if 500k, he's a bit of a I'm gonna say he's a bit of a basement Fogarty, bit of a wish.com Fogarty.
Yeah.
Is how I look at Tanner Boyd. Yeah, he's if you can't afford a 700k or 650k Fogarty, and you only got that budget, Tanner Boyd's probably not a bad shout for you. At least his position is pretty secure. It looks like he's got that 7 locked down now. Because Tamari Martin's still on the bench.
Yeah, and they did all right. They did what they expected against the Tigers too. It's not like he didn't show up or anything. I think he did quite a fair job. Did his what
they
he was
hurt them.
supposed to do.
They hurt the Tigers, mate.
Yep.
Let's be honest. They put some pain on there. Are you going to captain Tyrrell May this week? Speaking of Tigers,
It's a funny one, eh? Because ever since Haas has sort of come through that origin period, it's been like Trell Mit don't even think about it. But finally, he had another lowish one. What was it? Did he finish on 55?
Yeah, 54.
54 in what 63 minutes. So that's also the lowest minutes he's had all year, actually. So if Cleary had been playing and I had seen like warm ups or training where he'd been kicking, I would have switched to Cleary this week. So I'm still probably going to do it, but I think we're finally going to see some variants pop back up again in the captains from now.
Yeah. I'm actually considering Aaron Clark this week because how consistent he is, and I think that's just a good shout. The other one for me is actually ICAT.
Yeah. Oh, dare we say it? Like Jay-Z said last week. Oh, I was thinking about Captain and Herbie. I think he's going to go big and he gets 81.
You want to have some big fucking testicles to captain and center because the rule is never captain anyone with a number lower than 7. But look, can't argue with the boy. He's averaging 60.
I can't believe what he's been able to do from a stats perspective over the whole year, but especially the last 6 to 8 weeks. He's averaging 64.6. He's the 4th best in the comp behind Cleary, May, and Pass, the big dogs.
So maybe we do have to captain him this week. Like, I mean, they're coming up against the Cowboys.
Honestly, I think it's an actual shout.
A 900k Herbie Farmworth against a shit Cowboys team. 300 meters, 84 tackle breaks, 16 tries. Let's go. Maybe we should have spoken about that in the Cowboys game. Anyway, figure that out later. Anything else? Anything else interesting in this team? I don't think so. Jackson Ford starting at prop.
He's been pretty good through this period. I think he's sort of at a price close to some of the keeper level options at the moment. So bit of an awkward one.
But he hasn't been starting at prop. So the games where he started at prop, he's done he's got a 55 and a 58. He's only had 2 games, but when he started at prop, he does really well.
Hmm. I think he's good. I just don't think he's good enough to bring in relative to like a Tino or something. But I think he's a rip roaring option if you can sneak a nice trade to somebody in draft or something. But that's about it.
Yeah. Once again, I think he's a guy you're looking at if you've got lower squad value and you don't have the money to get a Tino. But how much cheaper than Tino is he?
Not much. It's only about
630.
10K.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Tino's cheaper. There you go.
Tino, there you go. So you're buying Tino. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize. Wow, Tino is cheap.
Yeah. He's a full 100K less than some of those other guys. That's why I'm so keen. I think he can average like mid 50s
It's just the cheapest he's ever been.
for a while.
I know. I think. So round 3, 2022, he was 586K, and then you got to go back to 2021, to see what that was like. His second year in the league, third year in the league. So yeah, you're getting an all-time cheap Tino. I think that's your buy. So round up, buy Angus if you need an edge, Tino if you need a middle. If you need a fullback, you're looking at Latrell Mitchell. Centre, who do we decide on for centre?
Adam Dewey because he's playing lock
Adam
or
Dewey
something.
because he's playing lock. Yeah, half Adam Dewey because he's playing lock.
It's a crazy week, hey. There's some good options out there. So out of all this now, having had a look at everybody, what do you think you're going to do this week? Do you reckon you're going to pull like three or trades or something?
I'm probably going to pull 2 because I think Adam Dewey fixed a big problem for me. So I think I'm going to bring in Adam Dewey and I'm probably going to bring in Tino. If I do a third, that's going to be Lucas out and Savala out. And then if I do a third, it will try to be doing Ryan Pappenhausen to Latrell Mitchell.
Yep, I really like that. I'd probably pull that third one, honestly, because carbs, well, we know what carbs do the last 18 months. They just linger and do stupid things. So,
Yeah. And that gives me an opportunity to not actually have to play Drinkwater this week.
yeah, I like that.
I'm not going to sell Drinkwater because I need a Cowboy in my team. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
What about you, mate?
I held trades last week because I just didn't quite like any of the options, and I couldn't reach Herbie in like one trade with Nawa, and it was like, well, you don't really want to, especially against the Dragons. Didn't work out. So this week I am getting Herbie, Latrell, De Silva,
Oh,
and
catch them.
Tino for Lucas, Savala, Hoplite, and one of like Cook or somebody else. Fanil Blake, if that injury isn't just a cork and is more than something, but he's named, so I think it's fine. So that's probably the way I'm going to go.
Yeah, that's pretty good trades, mate. I like them a lot. I think we need to quick shout out to Jay-Z and just be like, it's okay, mate. You lost some ranks this week. Wasn't your week. I think you got a 650 or something. Just keep your head in, mate. You'll get back there. We have faith in you.
Yeah, he fixed Brayley this week at least.
Yeah. The Jay-Z juice has worked on somebody.
There we go. Oh well, good luck to Jay-Z back into the single digits for next week. And I guess how we go. I'm just trying to recover now, I guess, because Herbie single-handedly wrecked me. Now, hopefully, I can make a bit of a push back, but see how far I can go.
Yeah, I mean, I got Herbie last week. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like the FOMO was just too much for me. I had to do something about it, and he got an 80. Like it's gonna make me feel good about my trades for the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I probably am gonna have to do a fourth trade, with Cleary out. Otherwise, I'm playing either Latufanu or Mr. Hunt. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do another trade. I'll have to look into that.
We'll see how we go. We had a poll earlier in the Discord. I think we said, "Are we going full fill?" And then everybody
Yeah,
realized, "Oh, hang on, maybe we do need to go full fill and throw 2-4."
a lot of people did 4 trades this week. A lot of people are going big. I think it's worth it too, man.
Yeah,
You set yourself up for the rest of the year. Get your final team, whatever that's going to look like, and then just bend over, kiss your ass, pray that you make it through unscathed. Like we've seen the last 2 weeks how much carnage can happen in such a short period of time. If you were a guy on 8 trades, I would not be using 4 unless you have to. Like you're going to be out of trades by round 23 if you're useful.
It's dangerous territory. I don't like going down to 7 with like 7 rounds left because that's 1 a week. That's not
Yep.
much room for luxury trading. That's just injury fixing. So
Yep.
hopefully we don't have to do too much of that. We can have at least 1 or 2 left by the end and actually make a couple of ranks.
Nice. Right. Thanks for a good pod, mate.
Yep. Catch you next week, guys, and we'll see whether this team list and this week turned out to be as chaotic as this recording.
We need some jalapenos next week, mate.
Let's go.